Hello everyone, my name's FNAF Alerts, and today will be our first ever review and video on this channel. Today we'll be looking at SNES, Abby and Golden Freddy, and Balloon Boy from the Five Nights at Freddy's movie wave. This is wave 2 of those figurines. Now keep in mind this is my first ever YouTube video for this channel, so I might mess up and stutter my words a bit. So please work with me, hopefully in the future I get a lot better. Additionally, for this video we will be showing off a prototype figurine that I won from a giveaway from Youtooz news. So stay tuned to the end for that one. Anyways, let's get on with the video. To start us off, we have Ness. Now, Ness isn't quite a big character in the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. However, he is an important one, for he is played by the legendary Matt Pat, also known as Game Theory. Now, giving this a quick turn, we'll have a look at the sleeve. The sleeve is pretty simple. It's pretty much the same for all figures. It's the ball pit with the purple and black gradient on the back. And you'll also get a bunch of Matt Pat's or Ness's art surrounding the box. Here we can see him with the plate of appetizers and the lunch menu. Here we have his name, and here we have the Five Nights at Freddy's logo, specifically the one themed to the movie. We can also have a look inside and see him in there. It's a good view overall of the figurine. But yeah, it's a simple sleeve. Give it another turn. Like I said, we have the figure art. But yeah, turning back, and we are back at the back. Now we lift this up, take off the sleeve, and now we have the back. Here we have Ness standing inside Sparky's with a quote on top. Like all Youtooz figures, we have a quote on the side, a quote on the back, and a quote on top of the lid. Though sometimes figures might not have quotes, but Matt Pat has all three, so we're all good there. So giving this a turn, as we can still see, there's a bit of Sparky's, but we have a better look at Matt Pat. We also have his name again, and it just says Youtooz this time, but we also have the Five Nights at Freddy's logo down here, so it's alright. And also we have Matt Pat up here, or Ness up here, sorry. Now this is figure number 61. Pay attention to this number, because when we get to Balloon Boy and Golden Freddy, it's going to be a lot interesting. So, let's give this another turn. Again, it's Matt Pat inside Sparky's, a bit of more of a close-up. Turn again, and now let's read some of these quotes. You do realize that lunch is the most important meal of the day. One of his good quotes. He doesn't have many lines in the movie, but his lines are spectacular in the movie. Now we have the side quote. Hey, welcome to Sparky's. Can I set you folks up with some appetizers? Decent quote. And he is holding his plate of appetizers, so it makes sense. Now let's quickly take off the lid. And now we have the last quote. Quick look. Some people say that, but you know, it's just a theory. A game theory! Thanks for watching! God, that was cringe. I won't be doing that again. Anyways, let's open him up, and yeah, see you then. Before we actually get on with the figure, I just wanted to show what's inside the box, since it will be the same with Balloon Boy and Golden Freddy. Plus, I know you guys are all desperate to know what the inside of the box looks like. Well, as you can see, it's the same as the outside. We have the bouncy balls, along with the Five Nights at Freddy's logo back there. It's nothing too complex, it's pretty simple, but the main part is the figure anyway, so it's not meant to be complex. Anyway, since I know you guys were dying to see that, here you go. And now let's get on to the figure. And here we have Ness in all of his glory. As you can see, he's a rather simple Youtooz, but he kind of has to be, because that's how he looks like inside the movie. Now, this figure is a rather good looking one, nevertheless. As you can see with his white shirt, he has a name tag that does say Ness there. As you all know, that is a reference to his famous game theory, is Sans Ness, or is Ness Sans, it's one of the two. Moving down, we have his two pouches, one that holds a pencil and the other one that holds a notepad so that he can write down what the meals of Aunt Jane, Doug, and the other two characters are. I forget their names. I'll probably put their faces right here or right here. Depends if I'm lazy or not. But continuing on, he has his dark blue pants and his white sneakers. Or white shoes. I'm not really sure if they're sneakers. Underneath, we have the Youtooz logo along with some other mumbo jumbo. We don't care about that. Let's go back up. This head does really suit MatPat well. It really captures his glorious chin and all of his other glorious features. Giving him a full turn, as you can see, good texturing on the shirt and the pants. Giving him another turn, and back to the front. On this side, we have a lunch menu that says Sparky's and also lunch underneath. Other than that, it's just a bunch of rectangles, which it's a menu. It's probably going to have a bunch of food on it. And moving to the side, we have a bunch of appetizers, which I believe to be mozzarella sticks because they look like it. And also, it looks like we have marinara sauce right here. But my marinara sauce looks a bit moldy. I'm not sure if it'll look the same for you guys. But hey, I'm not going to kill Youtooz over it since it is a minor issue. This figure is rather great. And if you're a fan of Ness, you would love this figurine. And yeah, let's move on to our next figure, Balloon Boy. And here we have the Balloon Boy figure. This one is by far my favorite figure in the entire wave. But before we get onto that, let's just show off the sleeve and the box real quick. As you can see, like Ness's, it has the ball pit along with the logo on the top, Balloon Boy's name, and the art on the side. Moving on here, again, ball pit and the art. The exact same with Ness, it'll be the same with Abby and Golden Freddy. Let's move on from the sleeve. Taking off the sleeve, we have the little famous scene from the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, with the locker and Balloon Boy jump scaring Mike. Here we have the back of Mike's head, along with the little Balloon Boy inside the locker, him in all of his glory. But you may notice that there is no quote. Same on this side, there is no quote. It's a little bit of uniqueness between the boxes, I guess, but then again, Balloon Boy doesn't say much in the movie. So let's just move on to the front. Here we have in the front, again, it's going to be the art, the name, and the Youtooz logo. Like I said beforehand, with the Ness figure, you should have paid attention to these numbers. So Ness says 61, here it says 67. I'll have a list of the Youtooz figurines. As you can see, Ness is up somewhere here, I'll have an arrow, and Balloon Boy is somewhere down here, along with Golden Freddy. This is most likely because Ness was created before Balloon Boy and Abby and Golden Freddy. I might be wrong on that, but I'm assuming that's how it goes. Anyways, let's open up this figurine already. Silly me forgot to show the quote on top of this lid, so before we take out this figure, let's have a quick look at it. Turning this over, we have, "Hello." It's a simple, easy quote. It's nothing too special because Balloon Boy doesn't say much in this movie, but hey, it's a fun little one. Anyways, let's get on to the actual figure itself. And here we have outside the box, it's Balloon Boy. But like I said, this is probably my favorite figure in the entire wave. I mean, just look at him. He's probably like one of the most accurate figurines Youtooz has made for Five Nights at Freddy's. They did such a spectacular job on him. Here, just have a close-up. Starting from the top, we have a brown little propeller pinwheel hat with a little blue stick sticking out. It's alright. Along with the creepy smile that he has to differentiate him from the FNAF 2 Balloon Boy, along with his orange cheeks and nose. To the side, we have the balloon sign and the giant balloon that he holds, just like his FNAF 2 counterpart, and a little striped t-shirt with two giant buttons. We also have the blue jeans and the brown shoes. Underneath, again, Youtooz logo, a bunch of mumbo jumbo. It will be the same for Abby and Golden Freddy. You can also see underneath the mouth, it's black inside. But yeah, they did an amazing job on this figurine. And if you did not get this figure, I'm so sorry for you because this is such a beautifully made figurine. I'm going to give it like 10 out of 10. I know I didn't rank Ness. I'll do a full-on ranking at the end, but for now, this is definitely a 10 out of 10 figurine. I love him so much. Youtooz will be doing another Balloon Boy figurine, but instead of being FNAF movie-based, it will be FNAF 2-based. I'll have a picture of what he looks like over here or over here. It depends on where there's more room. seeing more room here, so most likely be here. As you can see, the Balloon Boy for the FNAF 2 wave will be having a lot thinner stripes on the hats and such. So expect that figure to also be amazing. Anyways, not really much else I can talk about this figure. Give him another quick 360. God, he's so beautiful. Look at his arms as well. Just a great figure overall. Anyways, let's move on to Golden Freddy and Abby. And here we have the final figure for the Five Nights at Freddy's movie Wave 2 lineup. It will be Abby and Golden Freddy. I know I've been saying Golden Freddy and Abby throughout the video, but hey, it's the two characters. It doesn't really matter how you say it. Like the other figures, it's going to be the exact same sleeve. We got the art, we got the name, we got the logo. We got the arts, the ball pit. Like I said, the black and the purple gradient is the exact same. Let's just move on. Whoops. Here we have Golden Freddy inside Aunt Jane's house. A recreation from the scene, just like Balloon Boy. But this time we have a quote. We'll read that in a second, because if we move to this side, we have another quote as well. We'll read that in the end. Moving back here, we have the number 68. Balloon Boy was 67. Ness was 61. That's just how they're numbering it. Or how they're making figures. Anyways, we have a look at Abby and Golden Freddy. Didn't really show that, but it doesn't matter. Here we have Golden Freddy and Abby inside the house as well. Here they are holding hands. Moving back here to this quote, it says, it's time to go play. Simple, easy quote, rather nice. And here's this quote as well. They're all waiting for you. They're all waiting for Abby to come back home to the pizzeria. Not many good quotes from this movie, but hey, they're pretty good. And then lastly, we have the quote up here. Silly Aunt Jane, she fell asleep. This is by far my favorite quote that the Golden Freddy kid said in the movie. Anyways, let's move on to the actual figurines. And here we have Golden Freddy and Abby, or Abby and Golden Freddy, outside of their box. This figure had me the most worried when I first saw it. Specifically with Golden Freddy's jaw. I wasn't too sure about it because for some reason the advertisements made it look a bit big. Maybe if I look at it again, the advertisements look fine, but for a long time I thought this jaw was a bit too big, but it looks fine as it is. And I was also worried about Abby a bit. I wasn't too sure how the chibi would look, but they actually did it pretty well. As you can see with Ness, it looks pretty good. It's like a good little transition between these characters. I do also like that Ness and the blue eye for Golden Freddy. It's a bit of a Sans wave right there for Five Nights at Freddy's. Sans from Undertale, love that. But if you're a Canonist, you can say this is like Evan or something. My major complaint about this figure, however, is it's a huge missed opportunity to make this a flocked figure. When they released the other flocks, those were supposed to be basically a FNAF movie stand-in. So why isn't this figure all flocked? The flocks are like beautifully made for FNAF movie figures, and the fact that this is not a flocked is a missed opportunity. Anyways, focusing on the positives of this figure, I really like the withering to it, with the wires coming out the eyes and the ear, and plus the hat being all broken and torn apart and some scratches on it. Beautifully made. And Abby, the chibi look just looks amazing with her overalls, her little shoes, her jackets, and her pink shirt. And if we turn around, we can see a better look at her holding Golden Freddy's hand. Just a beautiful look overall. Putting them down. Yeah, not really much else I can say about this figure. Again, I wish it was flocked. It would fit well with the rest of the flocks, which would make this a fully complete FNAF movie wave, in my opinion, because we would have the flocks, plus the humans in the wave 1, and plus these characters in this wave 2. But hey, whatever, it is what it is. It's still a great figure overall. If you didn't get it for the market, I definitely say it is worth the buy if you see it for a very good price. I wouldn't go anything expensive with this one because Again, it could have been flocked and such, but if you like Golden Freddy and Abby, definitely a good figure to have. Anyways, again, not really much else to talk about this figurine. Love the little hand, holding hand. Love the bow tie and Golden Freddy. Anyways, let's move on to that secret figure that I was talking about at the start of this video. And lastly, we have the Nightmare Bonnie prototype. As you can see, there's a sticker right here to prove that it is indeed a prototype. The FNAF 4 wave has not shipped yet, but since I have the prototype early, thanks to winning it during a Youtooz news giveaway stream, or it was just a normal stream, it just happened to have giveaways in it, I happened to get it early. As we can see right here above, it is signed. I believe this is by Austin, the CEO of Youtooz. And let's have another look at the sleeve. As you can see, it is the FNAF 4 menu. We can even see the FNAF 4 house behind Nightmare Bonnie. Taking off the sleeve, gotta be careful with this because it is a prototype. We have our first quote along with Nightmare Bonnie inside the FNAF 4 house in one of the hallways, being shined by a flashlight. I'll read the quote soon, but turning this to the side, we have another quote and some more of the hallway. Turning to the front, we can have a better look at Nightmare Bonnie, but we'll talk about him proper when he's outside his box. Here we have the number 73, and we have, like I said, his name, Nightmare Bonnie, and Nightmare Bonnie himself. Turning to the side, here he is in one of the hallways again, with the grandfather clock right behind him. Taking a look at these quotes, we have, "You better watch out, I hear they come alive at night." And then turning to this side, we have, "Don't be scared, I'm here with you." Now, this quote in the back comes from FNAF 4 minigame with the pigtail girl, and I'm pretty sure this quote comes from Fredbear plushie, because Nightmare Bonnie doesn't have any quotes. Shame. Taking off the lid, we have one extra quote up here that says, "Some things are best left forgotten for now." This is obviously a quote to the box. Anyways, let's crack this figure open. Before actually taking a look at the figure itself, I just want to quickly show the box. It's the FNAF 4 menu, a better look at the house and some of the trees, but yeah, nothing too crazy. But let's get on to the actual figure itself. Now, the first thing I noticed about this prototype, I almost dropped that, that would have been an issue. First thing I noticed about this prototype is it's very heavy. Not too sure if the figures itself will be like this, but yeah, there is some weight to this guy. One of my major complaints about this figure when I first saw it was I thought he was the weakest, but after having this in my hand for a few days now, this is probably one of my favorite Youtooz ever, and I cannot wait for the rest of them to arrive. Now, I'm not too sure what the difference between this prototype and the normal figure is. I'll have to compare the two, like I said, when the other figures arrive. But yeah, just an amazing figurine overall. Have a look at that. Beautiful eyes, beautiful withering all around. I love that you can see the endo jaw inside of the mouth. It's just amazing overall. I saw other people complaining about this figure, and I have to disagree. This figure is very beautifully made. If you did not get the Nightmare Wave, I'm so sorry, but it's totally not your fault. The 2-week timer that Youtooz gave this thing was criminal, especially during a time where there were tariffs hitting America. $9 shipping was a crime. I understand if you did not get this one, but my God, it's so amazing. I love it so much. If you have the opportunity to ever get this figure, definitely get it. It is definitely going to be worth the price. Probably not too expensive though. Don't go for that. I would never support that, but for a decently good price, hell yeah, definitely get this figure. Not really much else I can say about this figure other than it's beautifully made done. I'll talk more about it when the actual figure itself, the non-prototype version, arrives. Anyways, let's get on to the outro. And that brings us to the end of this YouTube video. I'd like to thank Youtooz News again for this opportunity to get the Nightmare Bonnie prototype. Love this figure so much. Now, let's quickly get on to the rating so that we can end this video. Balloon Boy, I'm going to give a 10 out of 10. Very good figure. Nightmare Bonnie, like I said, 11 out of 10. Beautifully made figure. Ness, he is rather basic. I'm going to give you a 8 out of 10. Still overall good figurine. And Abby and Golden Freddy, I'm going to have to give you a 7.5 simply because you should have been off lock. All of these figures were timed, so I'm sorry if you were not able to get them, but if you find them on the bird market for a good price, definitely worth the buy. Thank you again for watching this video. For being a first one, I think it's alright. Definitely could be better, but hey, I'll strive for better in the next video. Anyways, check out my other social medias. I'm constantly doing giveaways and posting news on those, so definitely check them out. Anyways, thanks again for watching, and goodbye!